Hello everyone, this is DayTraderRockStar for DayTradingRadio.com, and I have an important market educational video to put out this week before the 10 for 1,000 watch list. I think this is going to help a lot of people who have not experienced this type of market volatility. Normally we like to see a market that's a very trending market. You could see back here since September, actually all the way up to January. You had a pullback from January, then all the way from February to May, we've had a decent uptrending market. It's very easy to make money during that time. All right, it's not, it's important to still have your setups, your system, your indicators, your money management, your discipline, and your patience. Not to say that a lot of people could lose money in a market like this, but it becomes a pretty easy game because if you have the discipline and you wait for your setups, most likely you put the odds in your favor. And as you can tell, each time the stochastics pull back into a certain level here, the market balanced, and this was a very strong indicator of just continuing that type of trend. You have trend lines and you have moving averages that are holding up until we get a nice correction back here, but actually we come right down to the 200, which is also a very interesting, area with no news affecting this other than we're getting a healthy correction and we have a 200 period moving average right underneath us, and it happens to be a nice trend line underneath us too that goes back out. So now that we bounced off of that, we've been trading up for 4 months. The market did get hit with some European economic news, or the Greece news, or was it an era, whatever it was, the market did take a hit here, and we sliced through that 200 period moving average, and we sliced through the trend line, and it was violent, and it was ugly, and there was stops being taken out, and there's margin calls, and basically all this easy trading now is gone because things are going to get very, very volatile. But it's not gone. It's not gone. It's just that we have to tighten our focus list, and we have to actually tighten our time frame. So the only thing different here now, instead of using daily charts for setups and longer term trades, the best thing to do here, and I do this intraday anyway, is the 60 minute and the 15-minute chart. The same important patterns are going to show up on the 60-minute chart now and on the 15-minute chart. Nothing's going to change. There's these algorithm traders out there, these black boxes that trade these systems, which basically mine's a rough draft of seeing this type of thing. You're pulling back to certain levels that multiple indicators are setting up where people would, that there's a computerized system out there that could tell you, hey, this is a good area for support because of an old trend line, because of a support level, because of it's a channel level, and the stochastics are set up, and there's all kind of buy signals. So you program traders come in here and they buy these levels. All right, this is a little more advanced than the average everyday investor is going to find. But you could do it if you put your work in, and you put your time and you study and you test these things. You've been an experienced trader. You'll see that certain things work over and over again. So now that we broke down through here, we're not going to see that beautiful channel start to develop on the daily. We're not going to see the wedge pattern develop on the daily on a lot of these stocks because they're all out of whack. But you will see them on the 60-minute chart, and you will see them on the 15-minute chart. And that's the important thing, because now we want to break down our trades, our stocks, our focus list into these intraday setups. You want to go back 4 or 5 days, 2 or 3 days, even 1 day. I'll show you the 1-day patterns also. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to continue to break down these trades. We're going to look at some great channels. We're going to look at some great patterns, and we're going to apply those to the 60-minute and the 15-minute time frame. And we're going to make just the same great trades as we would on the daily entries and the swings, but it'll be just a little shorter time frame. Again, these are some examples of some of the patterns we're going to be watching for. And again, these are on the daily charts. This is a nice channel trade. I like to consider, the first top part of the downward channel line is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Once you have 1 and 3, 4 and 5 are where my trades are going to be. All right. Now this is normally on a daily chart because this is the most probable area to buy it here. This is the most probable area to sell. And then down here, as we get, as the channel extends and gets more mature, there's still a great setup here. As long as the stochastics are set up, maybe there's other indicators and things are all right, you're probably going to get continued bounces here. But eventually a downward channel like this is going to break to the upside. So, that's what we want to look for, intraday patterns. We want to find that on the 60-minute chart. You want to find that on the 15 and on the 5-minute chart. And during those setups, then you have your trades, especially on the 60-minute charts, which that's going to last. A pattern like this will last 4 to 5 days. So you're looking at a nice short-term trade there. So let's take a look at CHA here, and let's go back and look at that channel trade. And this was where it was back out here, and you can see right here was where you would be buying here, and it actually moves right back up to that trend line. And actually, this is an important level, and I've tried to preach this on the radio all the time. The markets is geared to know exactly what people to grab and what people not to grab. It's like the market knows when it pops, it's going to get a lot of buyers coming in here, but then it usually retraces back to a trend line, and that shakes out a lot of people. And then the real aggressive, the people who understand the system actually start buying down here, and it's confirmation, and then you get your major move here. So that's what we're always looking for. So now this is going to happen on the 15 and on the 60-minute chart. Not anything different. It's just a great trading setup. So that's the CHA. CHL, let's take a look at CHL, which is another similar one to this. Let me see, where should I try that? Okay, the CHL, this is a wedge pattern, and you'll see me trade wedges all day long. If I see a wedge in the S&P, you could easily trade a futures contract using the wedge pattern. But again, it works great on any individual stock. You don't find it as prevalent on the intraday chart as you would on the 60-minute or on the daily. But here you go, a wedge, buying the lower level. Each time the stochastics pull back, you're on the bottom of a trend line, and you buy the breakout. But you see, you break out, re-pull back right to the trend line. It's clockwork. This move right here is a very I always call it, it's a shakeout. It's the first breakout, the first retest, and then usually it continues moves back up here. So you have to remember, even in the intraday chart, even if you trade in the futures or anything, that first, you need to always take the best position possible. If you're looking at a buy, looking to go long, you have to buy the lower trend line. If you're looking to go short, you got to buy the upper trend line. Buying sometimes here leads to a quick reversal back, and the next thing you know, your price is lower than the price you got into. And you're getting scared out of that, even though you maybe a lot of people don't know about the support here, but you're worried about your entry here. So you just went long because you broke out and moved up. But even though we're pulling back here, most of the people are getting scared out, saying this is not working for me. I'm getting out, not knowing that trend line here is going to support it, and then move on from there. So that's important also. So the wedge patterns, the channel patterns. I want to go over a couple more. Let's go through some of these old charts. There's another channel. Another good example, this is the the SPX, the S&P Cash 5 on the 5-minute chart. So this is a great example on the 5-minute chart of a channel. And they say, hey, how am I going to recognize this? This is very easy. And this is one of the best setups, is when the 200-period moving average, the exponential moving average, the 200-period, I say period because it's the 5-minute chart. You're not going to say it's not a daily moving average. I had someone email me the other day saying, you keep on saying period moving average. I said, well, it is the period moving average depending on what chart period it is. It's not always the daily moving average. This is not a daily moving average here. It's not taking the daily closes. It's taking the 5-minute closes. So when you talk about a moving average, a 200-period moving average, you're taking the last 200 periods of this 5-minute bar range. Each 200 period, 200 of the last 5-minute bars. And that's the average in that. So that's an important support level. So whenever you see an established trend line and the 200-period moving average, then you got your entries. And this happens on stocks, on futures, on everything. Instead of worrying about the volatility in the market, again, now start applying your discipline and focus and your patience. Wait for these setups. Do not get into anything, because the volatility is going to be, a lot of things are going to be taken out. Highs and lows are not going to really play as an important part as they did, because there's such a big range now. So that's very important. So I want to just actually now stop this video in case I get over my time portion here. And I want to do the next video I'm going to do. I was going to send this out right after this. I want to list the top 5 chart intraday chart patterns I'm going to be looking for going out until the new setups start appearing on the daily chart. So these are going to be the new patterns. So let me get that out to you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Also, I broadcast every day, and I show you these setups on the radio, on the website, daytradingradio.com. Get on the air about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We trade the whole day. You see the charts and everything. You see the setups live. So come on by and check it out.